One night, he snuck into her apartment. As she slept, he placed a pillow over her face and held it down until she stopped struggling. The morning sun shone brightly over the city, casting golden streaks across the bustling streets. It was a beautiful Saturday, the kind of day that promised new beginnings. Kelvin adjusted his tie as he stood in front of a mirror in his apartment. He had a wedding to attend that day, one he wasn't particularly excited about but had agreed to attend at the insistence of a close friend. Little did he know that this day would mark the beginning of a journey that would lead him through love, loss, betrayal, and an unfathomable twist of fate. At the wedding reception, Kelvin found himself seated at a table with unfamiliar faces, engaged in small talk and laughter. His eyes wandered across the hall until they landed on a stunning woman in fuchsia pink gown, her smile lighting up the room. Her name was Laura. Kelvin was captivated instantly. She was elegant, beautiful, and carried an aura of confidence that drew him in. They exchanged glances several times before he finally gathered the courage to approach her. One conversation led to another, and soon they found themselves laughing like old friends. Their connection was undeniable. Within weeks, they became inseparable, their love blossoming with every passing day. Laura admired Kelvin's ambition, and he adored her kindness. Within a year, they were married in a grand ceremony that left friends and family in awe. Their first year of marriage was blissful. They traveled the world, built a strong foundation, and made countless beautiful memories together. Everything was perfect until it wasn't. After their first year of marriage, Kelvin and Laura decided they were ready to start a family. Excitement filled their hearts as they anticipated the joy of welcoming a child. But their dreams quickly turned into nightmares. Laura suffered her first miscarriage just 2 months after conceiving. The doctors assured them that such things happen and that she would conceive again soon. They held on to hope. Then came the second miscarriage. And the third. Each loss chipped away at Laura's happiness. The doctors found no medical reason for the repeated miscarriages. Their once joyful home turned into a place of sorrow, confusion, and unanswered questions. Financial struggles soon followed. Kelvin, once a rising star in his company, faced inexplicable setbacks. Projects failed, contracts slipped away, and he was eventually laid off. Their love, once unshakable, now stood on shaky ground. Desperate for answers, Laura decided to seek spiritual help. She visited a well-respected prophet in the city, hoping for clarity. The moment the prophet set his eyes on her, he shook his head. "My daughter, your misfortunes are not ordinary. The source of your suffering is your husband." Laura was stunned. The prophet continued, "He has done something in his past, something dark. Until he confronts it, your suffering will continue." Laura refused to believe it. Kelvin was a good man, a loving husband. He could never be the cause of their misery. She sought another prophet in another town, hoping to hear something different. But the words were the same. Her heart pounded. She needed to get to the bottom of this. Laura confronted Kelvin. At first, he dismissed it as nonsense. But as she pressed further, his demeanor changed. His eyes darkened with memories he had long buried. Then he spoke. "When I was in secondary school, I made a mistake," he started. Kelvin told her about Dorcas, the beautiful classmate he had fallen in love with when he was in JSS 3. She had been the most desired girl in school, and to prove his commitment to her, they had entered into a blood covenant. Under the old mango tree, they each cut their thumbs, licked each other's blood, and swore to never leave each other. They kept their promise, until life got in the way. In senior secondary school, Dorcas became pregnant for Kelvin. They were too young to be parents, so they agreed to abort the pregnancy. But it didn't stop there. Over the years, they went through several abortions. Kelvin's admission to the university didn't end their relationship. Dorcas moved in with him, and they lived as a campus couple. But their love story took a tragic turn when one of the abortions resulted in uncontrollable bleeding. The only way to save her life was for the doctors to completely evacuate her womb. Dorcas was devastated. But Kelvin reassured her, promising he would always be there for her. But that promise was short-lived. After Kelvin graduated, he met Laura. He was mesmerized by her beauty, her intelligence, and her warmth. He fell in love with her, pushing Dorcas out of his life without warning. He blocked her on all platforms, erased her from his existence, and started anew. Dorcas was heartbroken. She searched for him, but no one told her anything. Then, one day, fate intervened. At a supermarket, she met an old schoolmate who casually mentioned that Kelvin was happily married. When she saw the pictures and videos of his wedding, something inside her shattered. With bitter tears, she raised her hands to the heavens and uttered a curse. "You think you can ruin my life and go scot-free? Kelvin, you will know no peace. Your marriage will crumble, your career will collapse, and your life will be filled with sorrow." From that moment, Kelvin's downfall had begun. Laura was horrified. The puzzle pieces fit too perfectly: her miscarriages, their financial ruin, the prophecy. Everything led back to Dorcas. The only way out. The prophet gave Kelvin 3 options. 1. Divorce Laura and marry Dorcas. 2. Beg Dorcas for forgiveness and hope she truly forgives from her heart. 3. Dorcas must die for the curse to be broken. And so Kelvin and Laura decided to find Dorcas. After weeks of searching, they finally located her. She was living alone, still bitter, still broken. When they knocked on her door, she opened it, saw Kelvin, and without hesitation, screamed curses at him. Kelvin knelt before her. "Dorcas, please. I am sorry for everything. Please forgive me." But Dorcas laughed. "You ruined my life, Kelvin. You left me barren. You think an apology will change anything? Never." She slammed the door in their faces. Kelvin was shattered. Kelvin had one last option, the third solution. If Dorcas died, the curse would be broken. The thought consumed him. He told Laura he was going on a business trip. But instead, he tracked Dorcas, studying her daily routine. One night, he snuck into her apartment. As she slept, he placed a pillow over her face and held it down until she stopped struggling. He fled. Days passed. Weeks. Laura became pregnant. Kelvin thought he had finally won. Until the police came knocking. He was arrested for Dorcas' murder. His ID card had been found at the crime scene, and after thorough investigation, all evidence pointed to him. Laura was in shock. "My husband can never kill anyone," she screamed at the officers. But the truth was undeniable. Kelvin was tried and sentenced to death by hanging. 8 months later, Laura gave birth to their son. She mourned Kelvin, but life had to move on. 3 years later, she remarried and found happiness again. But Kelvin's fate remained sealed. He had broken his promise to Dorcas. And in the end, the covenant had claimed him. The moral lessons of this story: past mistakes have consequences, no action truly goes unpunished. The decisions we make today can affect us for years to come. Blood covenants are dangerous, they are not to be taken lightly. Spiritual and emotional bonds can have lasting effects. Betrayal breeds destruction, deceiving others for selfish gain can lead to one's downfall. Seeking forgiveness is important. True repentance requires humility and acceptance of one's wrongs. Not everything can be hidden forever, the truth always finds a way to come to light. Kelvin had built his life on betrayal, and in the end, his own choices destroyed him. I would love to hear from you. Kindly share the moral lesson you learned from this story in the comment section below. If today is your first time here, please subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss more life lesson stories like this one. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for your unwavering support. Your encouragement helps bring these stories to life and spread important messages. If you've watched this story to the very end, you're the real MVP. Thank you so much. I appreciate you more than words can express. See you in the next video. Bye bye.